Welcome to my studio. Welcome to painting this course. I am happy to see you again here on the stream. The first thing that I want to say, and it's like a big disclaimer, please do not watch this video. Grab your paints, grab your drawing supplies, your clay, or open your digital software that you're working on, and please join me, because that's the only way how to really either understand what I'm talking about or experience what I'm talking about. Rather, that should be that's a way better put. The reason why I'm saying is that this should be paint along kind of a session that I want to do regularly, at least 3 times a week. Hopefully I'll be able to do it more often, or maybe even longer. And I've been working on multiple projects, so I might shift between different paintings, just because I have 3 or 4 unfinished paintings, and then I will add new ones throughout the process. So there's a lot of stuff to come. I want to work today on the character design that I do for my non-profit organization, and this is something that I've been working on for maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5. This is the stage where I'm at right now. There are multiple things that I want to correct, I want to adjust, and there's a lot of things that I want to paint it differently. So I had time to evaluate it. I had time to really think about what I want to move left and right, when I want to completely repaint or change, or maybe even get rid of it altogether. So I don't want to really waste time with the basics, because this is something that it's all that you guys are all familiar with. That's the palette brushes, medium, and if you have any questions about it, you're more than welcome to ask. Do not hesitate, just ask, and you will have to wait for my response for a while, because I'm painting, I'm here, I'm in my headspace, and sometimes sometimes I forget to look at chat and answer those questions. I'm going to be talking about the very similar things that I talked about that Bad Painting Friday sessions that I did previously. So check out those as well, because those are pretty cool when it comes to like really letting loose, having fun, not being afraid to make mistakes and explore, and then learn from those mistakes that you did on like really small piece of cardboard really quickly, and then analyze that, and then search for the similar mistakes in my painting. So that's what I did. That's the preparation stage. Before any work that I do, I have to sit down, look at my painting from a distance, and you can see like there is a you can't, but there's I can go out of the frame, and I'm walking towards my my wall, and then I'm walking back. All the time you can see me go out of the frame. It's just because the lens is not wide enough to see how far I'm actually stepping from the canvas. The rule about stepping away from the canvas, maybe I did not talk about this enough, it's that I want to see the painting in its entirety. That means I don't want to move my head up and down or left and right, and I don't want to even move my eyes going back and forth like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, because that's something that kind of take me away from the complete picture. Because when I'm looking only on this part right here down, I'm judging my boots against, I don't know, against the knee and against the against the hand. Rather, I want to compare my boot with everything that I have on canvas. That's why I'm stepping all the way in the distance. So this is something that I do very often. It's the first thing that I do when I come to my studio. I really sit down, and this painting, it's across the room from my chair where I sit, and I really analyze the things that I want to do, and I prepare the mental plan. And today mental plan is that I have to place the hand, because that's the thing that it's missing right now. And as you remember last time I talked about that, I work on the hand. I work on the hand a little bit, correct the position, and sharpen things a little bit, because this is going to be a focal point on its own, and it's very important to show that the hand it's in front of the shield, and the shield is front of the sleeve, and the sleeve it's front of the cloth behind. It's really important to make sure that this is really it reads in a space, in a depth, because that's what I want to do. If you work on a flat kind of a image, more graphic, you don't need to do it. But because this is supposed to be a little bit more three-dimensional, a little bit more developed, I absolutely 100% need it. And then I want to work on the edges and overall feel to it, because it seems like it's like a kind of cut out from the painting, and I want to incorporate it into painting. That means the background, foreground, middle ground, and I want to create that kind of an image of that I talk about a lot with atmospheric perspective. So that's something that I have the books right here. I don't know if you can see them, probably you can't, but I'll move this a little bit more forward. So I have my books ready right here. I am using these books and these references as a helpers, as a kind of a guidelines for myself. So I have a Rembrandt on, I have a Caravaggio, I have a Velázquez a little bit further away, but they are still here. These are Titian as well. These are really the important parts in my work, because I work from imagination, but it doesn't mean that I am kind of restricting myself from using any kind of help. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I know that the wheel exists. I want to use it as efficiently and as accurately as possible. So that's why I have here Rembrandt. And I think that if you have any question at this point in your painting career, probably Rembrandt already answered it. And if he didn't, Velázquez or Titian or Caravaggio or Rubens or Repin or I don't know, Serif or whichever famous painter you like, probably dealt with the similar problems, and somewhere there is the answer. So I'm going to push this a little bit away right now, because it's so I don't I want to protect it from paint spilling on the books, because sometimes I paint really quickly and I'm just pushing things around, and I have splashes all over the place. So be mindful about that. Protect your assets as much as you can. And I love these books. So even though they're really starting to show that wear and tear, I try to keep them as protected as possible. So let's get right into this. So I don't waste, I don't burn daylight. It's still a little bit wet. That's okay. That's fine. It's a sticky. It's exactly the surface that I want to work on to keep that integrity of layers. Because this is not alla prima painting. It's still kind of a direct painting, but I'm using a lot of layers and a lot of sessions, because it's a longer project and a larger canvas. I sat down and I was thinking about what I need to do, and I am 100% sure that I'm going to be focusing on the hand right now from the beginning, and then I will again step back and evaluate what I did with the hand, and how it improved or destroyed the overall feeling of the three-dimensional space and believability, and whether or not it works telling the story that I want to communicate with the viewer. So that's what I'm going to be working on or start working on today, and then let's see how far I can get. And you would be able to see me just move around the whole painting. I'm not one of those painters that just focus down on the one particular piece and they can bring it to full development. I do brushstroke right here, and I step back and I see that brushstroke somehow, for some reason, it's relating to something that's happening here. I have to correct either this or that brushstroke, so they don't compete with each other, but they work in harmony. So that's going to be the focus of my today painting session. And hopefully, while I was talking, you got ready your stuff, and you're ready to paint or create whatever you're doing creatively alongside with me. Yeah, I have my paints ready, so there's no reason for me to prolong this introduction. And then again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is, after all, this is painting discourse, and I really want you to feel free to really ask questions about what I'm doing, why am I doing it, and I'll try to answer as accurately as I possibly can. It not necessarily means that it's true all the time. It's in that particular moment when I'm answering that question, that's what goes through my head. And trust me, I said this million times, 95%, even more, maybe 97% of my work are mistakes, and then correcting those mistakes. And it happens not only with painting, but with evaluating things and thinking about things. So do not be afraid to have a thought that it's upon the realization is wrong and then correct it. That's just the nature of progress and improvement. So glove is on, and I'm ready to start. So this is what hit me immediately. I have a couple problems. I have a problem with the helmet and the edges around these areas, because they're really sharp and very rough at this point. So I'm probably going to be looking at that part. I might really repaint this area right here, because it feels that it does not really turn into a background, but I'll see. I'm not sure yet. And then maybe I was really playing with the idea to just cover this vignette kind of a area that I did there. So let's see how brave I'm going to be to start repainting it. And I remember, this is one more thing very important, I remember that I did the same thing with my Cyril and Methodius painting. I did not want to put the background there because I felt like that unfinishedness, it's helping to the painting. I was wrong, and as soon as I put it there, the whole painting felt immediately better. So maybe I'll push it into that as well. But for now, I want to really focus on hands. And I'm not sure right now whether the position is good or bad. I'm not sure. It feels correct, but somehow, maybe just the slight adjustments, the little plane changes and little shifts of the line work around the fingers might actually help. So let me see. I probably I'm gonna start with paint rather than just charcoal today. I just feel after that yesterday quick sketch that I did, I feel a little more I simply want to paint. I don't want to draw. That's I was trying to find some kind of a excuse for why I'm not sticking with my process, and it's simply just I want to paint today. So that's it. There's no hidden meanings behind it. Okay. It should probably have a shadow around here. Let me see. How would I approach this? Probably with the shadow, but this look a little too big. That might be the problem. The finger is sticking out a little too much. Definitely change that and then push it. I want to also show the thumb, a little bit of a thumb right here. Just to give, because it seemed a little bit too much, like just the 4 fingers. I want to show all 5 fingers. Don't ask me why. Sometimes sometimes, not all the time, sometimes I have that feeling that it's just, I don't know. And especially right now, it feels like that, because when I'm looking at the shape, or the design rather, since this is a character design, the design of the hand did not really, it doesn't feel appealing to me. So adding a little more interest around here, just to kind of clarifying that there's a thumb that goes right here, gives me that kind of a little bit more of more visual clues to what's happening, and then the different position, because right now the fingers, right now at this point, they look like a sausages, and I don't want to have sausages there for now. Maybe I should lift it a little bit, just a little lift. So I'm lifting it because I want to get to approximately to eye level for my for the hand. It's not exactly in the on my eye level, but when I'm backing up, it kind of work that way, because then I have to put my my head all the way up, and I want to, like I mentioned, when I'm backing up, I want to see my painting in its entirety. And right now I'm correcting proportions of that hand, and I am trying to make it anatomically correct. And trust me, hands are really challenging. And there are painters that they love to paint them, and there are some that they really hate that. I love to paint hands. I can't paint them very well, but I enjoy to paint them. It's challenging. It makes me feel entertained throughout the process. It's demanding. I'm not sure, maybe I should put this into a shadow. This into a shadow. And you see, I'm really working on the small, really kind of a minute details, but I'm stepping back all the way and I'm looking into a mirror. I'll just, put myself into frame so you can see me. I'm looking into a mirror reflection, and you won't believe, even on this scale, which is 2 meters high canvas, even on this scale, the small adjustments really matter when it comes to painting. And it's not because it's not. It has everything to do with our eye. Our eyes and the brains are very sensitive to sudden changes and shifts in the temperatures or in chroma, in value. So when you want to really get onto that higher level, you really have to be mindful about that. And I should probably introduce my let's do the shadow color a little bit, so I have maybe it deserves to be a little darker. Cool, I'm trying to create a little shadows underneath the fingers because they kind of give depth to and when I'm painting that shadow, actually I'm focusing on with this negative space, which the cast shadow represents, I am painting actually fingers. So that's a very important part to think of, that it's just the reason why I'm doing or painting the shadow, it's because I want to create a believable representation of finger. So I'm softening that edge a little bit. This can go lighter. Let me just do something I need to put a little saturation right here. My thumb. And I just scamble on the top. The reason is because it was same value and same saturation and same hue as the faults around here, and I wanted to visually separate that from the background, so I could judge it as a group of fingers rather than just fingers and then the random shape that reminded me a faults that I created here. So I kept the same value, I just scambled a little bit more of that redness there. And it's really high chroma only because I did not paint it there, I just kind of applied the color, applied the pigment on the top of the surface, which is really rough. So somewhere it catches the color and somewhere, in some places it skips. And then perhaps I should this might work. And I'm using anatomy references for this particular part because it is not easy to so this is where the And again, I'm still thinking about a composition. And I know that this is really difficult to see on the camera what I'm doing, but trust me, it slowly will build up that overall feel to it. These are really small adjustments, and you can you can't see them while they're happening, but at the end, you know, when you think about it, you take a picture of your work before and then after, yeah, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of painting, it will it will change. It will change. If you paint into it, it will change. So I'm trying to create the illusion of three fingers are gripping the shield, and this index finger, it's kind of floating. And again, it has everything to do with the position of a cast shadow at this point. That's how you can determine whether or not something is touching the surface or it's floating. And then also you can use overlaps as well. That would be very beneficial. So there's a little bit more detail around here. Maybe I should push this a little more out. And I'm looking at the finger right here and the finger right here, the index finger and pinky, and they look the same. They look same to me in the size and the position and the direction, and it's kind of making it look a little boring, generic, unrealistic even, I would say. And then and that's not what I want. I want to have a little bit more of that. And again, I'm going to use really saturated paint right now, not because I'm going to directly paint with it. I'm going to scamble around and I'm going to try to create a kind of a representation of Knuckles right here, right now. So I'm scrambling on the top. Okay, so I pushed that saturation a little bit, and you can see that the saturated color, that it's very close to actual value that I already have there, appears to be lighter because it reflects more light. It brings more attention, so you're paying it more attention. You pay more attention to it. So it's one of the things that you really have to be mindful about. And this should go a little bit more. So I want to connect them and disconnect them, the fingers. There are areas that they're touching closer to each other, and then there are areas that they're a little bit further apart. So I'm trying to create that illusion. Okay. Small incremental improvements are the name of the game right now. And I really have to develop that hand. And I can already see, I don't know if you can, but I can see that it's starting to get a little bit more of that volume. And if it has more of the volume than the other elements around, it automatically starts popping up more towards me than the shapes that are flat, right? So I have a flat shield against something three-dimensional that it's going towards me. So that's the illusion that I'm working with. And I'm still just in the mode of really just paying attention to what needs to be moved or what needs to be adjusted. And really trying to create a nice a shape, design a nice shape. And another thing is why I don't want to say that I'm obsessing with this hand, but it's the only uncovered thing, the fully uncovered thing that you see on him. So right now the hand is actually a portrait. So as I'm painting this, I'm trying to keep this in mind that, oh, this is actually a portrait. So I'm adding a little bit more warmth into it. So it creates kind of the juxtaposition between something that is really cold, like a steel, against something that it's cold. I don't want to say it's cold, but it has that feel of how would I put this? It's not a living thing. It's a metal. Against something that is alive. And you can see this kind of thing beautifully in Rembrandt's, not Rembrandt's, Rubens' painting that I saw in Getty Museum in LA. There is I don't remember the name of the painting, but it's Jesus and It's a painting. I'll find out the name, and I will let you know. But it's beautifully shown. It's Jesus. It's Jesus. It's two apostles, I think, and his mom. After they put him down from the cross, and you can see that the Jesus is dead, and his body is green or greenish, greenish and really desaturated against the nice, alive, vibrant, kind of a full of warmth painted apostles. But interestingly, Mary is also painted greenish because he wanted to show, I think that he wanted to show that she died as well the moment that he died. Part of her died. So he kind of connected her body and her feelings with Jesus that she's holding, and juxtaposed it with that warmth that the apostles around him had. It's beautiful, beautiful representation of how effective chroma and temperature can be used to tell the story, the narrative. Okay, so I'm reinforcing the shadows, the form shadows around the fingers. I brought, for those of you who work on in a digital, with the digital medium or a software, I kind of, on the slider, I saturated the hand more. And those are just the patches of color that first is helping me to navigate around. I'm trying to describe the side of the hand, the planes that are on the side, going away from the light, the top plane that is hitting the light, and the shadows. And because hand is complicated, complicated shape, or it's constructed from complicated shapes. That's the reason why it feels challenging. And not only feels, it is challenging. I don't deny that. mirror reflection check. Yep. Okay. Index finger look touch too skinny from a distance. I'm comparing the index finger with the little pinky. Yep, definitely. Maybe it's just let's see. Let me see. And believe it or not, this takes a lot of my brain power to paint hands. So I'm sorry for being so focused on painting. And that's I'm just proving my point that you should not watch this video. You should paint alongside with me. And I know it looks crazy. It's like a green color there. I just wanted to I'm just searching for a yeah, better. Okay, just a little bit of that softening of that edge on the thumb, so it kind of recede into background. And maybe I should push this little darker. This part, the whole part right here. So I'm scumbling on the top of the pinky finger, and I'm going to connect it with all these three fingers. Middle finger and So it shows that I have a top plane and I have a side plane and I have a shadow plane on the hand, and then within these planes I'm gonna work and render a little bit more and bring details. Okay. Should go maybe a little higher up. Let's see. Definitely. It's going all the way here. Okay. Yeah, that will correct that. So I was trying to elongate my finger right now because it kind of it doesn't look, it did not look correct, but the problem was that not length but width. So if things when you're looking at my arm right now, you can see the length, you cannot see the length right now, but you can still compare the width. So width of this, it's going to be the same all the time. And when I have something that is pushing towards me, I was trying to elongate it and compensate for the perspective, the width in the perspective rather than just the length. So these are the little corrections that I'm talking about in terms of, you know, accuracy of your own work. So instead of making that that index finger longer and changing the position so it reads better, I'm just going to make it little wider than it was. Yeah, definitely. So, and I won't be able to do this unless I go back and forth and I analyze every brushstroke that I put there. So, like I said, every brushstroke counts in terms of relationship within the small and then in the whole. Yeah, it's way better right now. I don't know, probably you can't really see it on the camera because it's really a big painting and it's far away. So Take my word for it. Okay, cool. Against the helmet, that's okay. That's cool. I felt like that hand might be a little too much, but no, it's okay. In terms of overall size. Okay, here, this. Connecting, comparing. Yes, cool. Softening the edge right there. Just a little bit of that. Yep. Cool. It's starting to protrude a little bit more. It's starting to resemble that. placing little little lighter areas there, because I know that there's going to be a light there. This is a dark area right here. There's this dark area right here. Okay, that's the one, and I need to do this right here, right now. Okay. Cool. There's a light area right here on the top. Okay, cool. And then I need to correct this a little bit. Okay. It feels like right now it's kind of protruding, but it feels like it's a little too big. Let me see if I can. And again, I painted it, and only after I painted it, I see the size, the proper dimensions. So I'm gonna scrape a paint from the top, so I can do the corrections and I don't blend the colors too much together. So one more time here and here. And then all this is in the shadow. And the bottom part right here is in the shadow. And then this is in the light. This is in the light. And it goes this way, and then I have a I don't feel satisfied with that. Let me just push it a little harder. Push a little darker, I'm sorry. So there's a clear, yeah. Okay, that's what I was missing. Because I get rid of the shadow that was underneath the finger, and then the finger kind of blended together with the shield, with the color of the shield, and they were very close to each other on when it comes to value. So that was kind of a breaking that form. Okay, and I'm going to push it right here a little bit more because it doesn't need to be that sharp. The abrupt change, yeah, okay. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. So I'm trying to create simultaneously an interesting position for fingers. I'm trying to make sure that there is a difference between the hand and chain and cloth and a shield, and also I want to show the presence, the importance of the hand. Maybe I should make them darker. Heads, I mean. So they're maybe dirty. Let's see if that will give me some more. I think that the darker value would be beneficial. Awesome. And I'm hoping that you are enjoying my struggle with the hand, and it's and it's giving you the perspective of how much do you have to put into it to get to where you want to be. If you were as bad in painting as I am. Cool. It's just I'm not happy about this part right here, so let me just change it. I think this is way too light and it's kind of jumping out. And it shouldn't. And it should go here this way. This is kind of breaking the form. And again, I'm going back and forth between connecting and disconnecting things, and painting and undoing it or repainting it. Just because I'm, whenever I move something around, something else changes. And like I mentioned, everything it's related to this should go higher. This should go definitely higher. Yep. That should go definitely higher. And these are really small adjustments, but they're going to help the overall structure. And I know that I need to place this hand right here, right now, because I'm going to correct the sleeve. Because I have a shoulder in the correct position. I'm going to put the hand into a correct position, and then I'm going to connect them through the elbow. knuckle right there. I have a knuckle right here. And right here. Maybe I could push this one a little lower. Like so, okay. Yep. Knuckles are there. Okay, so I'm connecting them again, just because I want to push it even further, and then I'll disconnect them and connect them again, and disconnect them and connect them again. Fingers, so they don't look like a tubular shape, but I'm rather thinking about them as the whole thing, this whole part, as one shape before anything else, and then I'm working inside or within that shape. Okay. Okay, so this is being connected. Nice. One continuous shape, and then it's connecting right here with another. And I'm pumping up the saturation, I'm darkening the shadows, because I want a little bit more of that graphic kind of a feel to it. And as you can see, I'm working mostly with warmer pigments, or in the group of reds and yellows, more than anything else. And the reason is that I worked with cool colors before. Right now, I'm working with warmer colors, just to make sure that I have that variety that I'm sorry, I don't, like I said, my brain is working overdrive right now. I want that layering of warm and cool, warm and cool, warm and cool layers. Cool. Yep, it's starting to emerge slowly. Maybe I could make it a little bit more not more detailed, but I need a little bit more information there, so probably I should put the nail there as well, just so I can judge whether or not I have enough space between or enough space. I don't know. I'm really, my brain is just really working overdrive. I want to make sure that it fits into that. Well, I know it's going to fit, but I want to make sure that it fits comfortably. And you might be thinking, like, why are you fussing over these details right now, right here? When you have so much work or so many parts unfinished. The reason is because I want to place the hand as accurately as I possibly can, so I can judge the helmet, the armor, the shield, and anything else against it. You could see me do the same thing with the other paintings. I have a portrait. I'm trying to set up the main portrait so I can start evaluating everything else around. Because, you know, every part is basically where it's supposed to be. It's kind of balanced. It's working the way that, it's supposed to. There are small details there. They are not really in place yet, and I have to start with some detail. And last time I placed the little ornaments on the helmet. I placed the chainmail, and right now the hand. It's the main thing, since I consider that portrait. So that's why. And it's, you know, at one point you really have to make the decision, is this enough moving around? And then when the answer is yes, this is enough, then you just proceed. Little by little. this. Cool. Yeah, it's starting to take shape. Okay, so I have 1 second. Okay, cool. And then okay, I'm changing it slightly, position a little bit, just a little bit. For the finger, I felt like it would be better this way. Okay, and then it should go. It should go a little bit more here. Yep. So I painted that finger. I put the details there, and then I realized that I don't really like the position, so I changed it. Well, that's what's up. Was not satisfied with it, so I simply changed it. That's it. And you should really think about these things consciously or subconsciously. That if something is not right, you should not keep going and trying to, put the more detail in it. Makes no sense. It's not going to improve it. It's just going to further. It's going to amplify those mistakes, if anything. And that's exactly what I don't want to amplify. My mistakes. I wanna hide them as accurately as possible, or I wanna hide them as successfully as possible. That's what I was looking for. Now let's do light, and I want to correct the background right now because I started to I'm adjusting hand, I'm adjusting fingers, and I want to bring a clarity to it. Softening the edge. Slightly. Yeah, and automatically the hand is starting to go more forward. Yep. So let's push it a little bit. I just want to make sure that this edge is nice and developed. So I I separate the foreground and the background. And maybe I should push it a little bit more this way. and then also show that. Show that thumb, or actually, you know, push the thumb a little bit more. And blend it with the background, and by blend it, I mean just create the values that are a little closer to the background. So it kind of rolls back into a okay. Right here, right here. And right here, I want to bring it a little bit more. And again, I'm unifying it a little bit, because it was, right now, it was a little too much. Oh, this is wrong. It was a little too much. Too much separation between those fingers, so I put a lot of detail there, and it, you know, it started to look overworked. So I'm going to connect them again to see. To see if the hand works as one unified shape, and then will disconnect it again. Okay. So I put more and more detail into that hand, and I'm gonna and that's enough for now, for the detail for the hand. This is not the final stage of that hand by any means. It's just more information for me, or the enough information that I need right now in order to continue. So I'm gonna continue with the sleeve and not reworking, but adding a little bit more information here and the folds and a little bit more of a detail, and the kind of creating a little bit more believable feel of form, because right now it looks too flat, and I want this to be flat and this to have a volume. So yeah, that's going to be that's something that I'm going to continue working on right now. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I took a quick break just because I wanted to rest my eyes a little bit, just to, let the painting go away for a second. And you should take a break as well. Maybe every half an hour, maybe every 45 minutes, depends on how much are you capable of working at once. But even though if you're not tired and you want to continue, you should still look somewhere else just for a while, so you don't have that kind of a that the focus, it's narrowing and narrowing and narrowing down to the point that you are not able to judge that objectively, the painting. And I had that feeling that I was pushing it a little too much, and I needed to rest my eyes, rest my brain. It was too much of information in this area. So I'm going to be working on the sleeve. I brought some piece of wood just because I want to simulate that the way that I designed the hand. And I want to make sure that I have it in the right position, that the anatomy is correct. And I have my mirror here that I told you that I use all the time. It was slightly on the side, but I want to see a different position for the hand. I want to move with my hand and arm and see the different positions and which one would be the best design, and it would work with the composition, not against the composition. So I took a minute to think of that, reflect on what I did, and evaluate and adjust the process depending on what my painting needs, rather than what I want or don't want to do. So yeah. So I'll work probably on that sleeve. Not probably. I'm going to be working on that sleeve. I'm gonna check my references for the cloth. And see how far I can get. So let me adjust my references. And I'm looking for the reference with that armor or the chainmail that he's wearing, and how could I create a little bit more of a fold, and how it's folding. It's really I don't know. I'm probably going to fold it as a regular cloth, maybe make a little bigger fold, but I need to break that form that is right here, because it's just like a tube going, and I want to show it's going down and towards us. So I'm looking for references with that kind of a position of a hand and cloth in my reference photos. don't see any really, really good reference. And I mean like one that would be immediately, fit into these. And I probably will have to order a chainmail and just drape it on my own arm and work from life, not from imagination, because my imagination goes only so far. And I think that's not a problem. I can still work a little bit on that, that feel, even though I don't have, exact reference. So I can invent it, I can try to design it and see if I'm close or not. And this is what I was talking about, that there's a lot of preparation work that precedes these streams. And sometimes you think that you are ready and you have everything, and then you move things around, you try different things, and then suddenly it doesn't work anymore for you. That's what happens. That's the evolution of a painting. So I can't be mad really. But then okay, so this might help. All right, cool. I just saw something with the chainmail that it should go this way right now. That radiation should radiate from here, like so, and then it goes here. Okay. So it's going down right here, and then maybe I should create a little curves. Yeah, that should work. So and this is just, I'm just going to design a shape that I like and see if it's going to work. Now I bring this a little darker here, so I show the thickness of that chainmail the same way that I was trying to do right here. If you remember the previous stream, and if not, just check it out there. All the videos are on YouTube. So what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of, again, in the stage of designing and inventing certain things, because I don't really have any accurate reference for the chainmail folds. I couldn't find anything that would fit to what I'm trying to show, or the position. But I have some, you know, some idea. So I'm going to try to sketch it in. Maybe I could bring it a little bit more here. Maybe this is enough, just a little suggestion and a little bit from the other side. So I don't really, because I don't think that the chainmail make like that many folds anyway, so. Just a little bit of that. A little bit of that chainmail. Let me just move this for now. More saturation. these a little bigger, just so, you know, they appear that they're a little closer to us. And maybe even a little lighter. And I'm using these kind of a dots, like think of a pointillism, and I'm trying to direct the movement this way. So it's going down, and then it's going towards us. Yeah, so maybe I could put a little bit more of like a fold right here. A little bit more detail. And contrast. And then really bring that Yep. Maybe lose a little this part right here, so it doesn't go that far away, and maybe push it a little more here. that looks way better right now. I know that it's really hard to see, but these little changes is really giving that. And maybe I could put a little more emphasis. Here as well, actually. And the reason is because I want to show that the shoulder. So I'm going to push it a little. Because I want to bring that forward a little bit more. So I'm putting more detail there. And I'm doing it the way that I'm playing with that light, I'm playing with the texture, and I'm playing with that paint application. I'm not doing anything I just want to break that kind of a pattern that repeats over and over and over again, and I'm trying to break it a little bit with the different brush strokes. It seems that it's working right now. I needed to bring a little bit more of that light part towards the shoulder. And you might remember that at the beginning, as an introduction, I was talking about that. I want to put this forward and this a little bit more into the background, to blend it with the background. But I still want to make sure that you see where the armor ends. And I was afraid, I was thinking about it during that break that I took, that I was thinking about that doing it might kind of completely vanish this part, and it would also destroy my composition because everything would happen right here on this side. I need to balance it a little bit. so I don't want to push it all the way, so it kind of disappeared. It's like kind of sfumato, kind of a or Caravaggio style, that he would just blend it into the background completely. So from here to the background, it would be complete lost edge, that you wouldn't be able to determine where the shoulder starts and where the body starts, or rather where the background ends and body starts. That's what I was trying to say. And then I'm looking at this and I have a feeling I want to yeah. That was way too blue there. I think that I could push it here as well a little bit more. So you can see that I'm working around that hand that I painted. I want to make sure that that it works. I have okay. And the reason why I'm adding this warmer color on top of that blue cooler color, it's because I want to create that kind of a layering effect of warm and cool, as I talk about all the time. Let's see if it's going to help. And then I push this little lighter, automatically I can tell that I can push the cloth a little lighter, and that will kind of surround that dark value of overall value of hand against the lighter values. And it will, this is right now the area of the most contrast, so your eye goes directly there. It's important to think of these adjustments when you work, because it will change the composition. But I knew that I want to have that hand there sticking really out, because it's going to fight for attention against the helmet, and I don't want it to fight. I want you to natural come from here through here down here. Then I have a sword right here, the kinds of leading you away. So I have to figured out how to push you back to painting. So because I don't want you to go, oh, there is a helmet hand, and then I'll go away from the painting. Rather, perhaps I'll create, because I already decided that this is going to be painted, because it's not going to work. Keep it like a vignette. It needs to be painted. So let me push a little bit more saturation on that shield as well. But I don't have blue pigments. So I worked small a little bit, and I decided that I need to just expand a little bit. This cobalt looks very much like ultramarine. Let's put a little bit of this indigo here. And I need a little bit of it. Can't find that pigment. Never mind. Maybe I can mix it, and if not, I'll just search for it. So I want to add that blue hue there for the shield. So let me just. This needs to go away. There's a harsh line right there. Cool. Let's see, let's bring this little light. So let's bring the saturation, because I felt that, you know, that's in order for me to judge that painting and move forward with that painting, I need to bring that saturation up a little bit more, and I was keeping it a little desaturated on purpose, and close on values, because I like to work that way. right now I'm keeping it very close to the same value that I had before. I just made that paint a little more vibrant, and I'm applying it with palette knife. And the reason is because it just creates a different texture, different kind of feel to it. And I'm kind of spreading it around, pushing, scraping. So somewhere I want to keep it transparent on some places, and some places I want to have it a little more opaque with a lot of texture. And I'm just smudging it around. And this is really, I recently gave an interview when I was talking about, there was a question like, why, what's the, how would I even translate that? Why do I paint figures instead of abstract art? And I don't see the difference between abstract art and realism. I'm painting abstractly right now, strictly abstractly. This has nothing to do with it. If you would just take this little piece, that would be abstract painting on its own. The only difference between my interpretation of abstract painting is that these are all little shapes, and I'm trying to organize them. So when you look at them, like think of a mosaic. So I have a mosaic of abstract shapes. Then when you look from a distance, they kind of come together and create a figure, rather than just, you know, painting from the photograph, color by color, and, you know, kind of a paint by number. And you can see I add, this is going to be completely different blue. It's way too light and it's kind of turning purplish. So and the reason is because I want to have a little variation. What this is going to give me is that kind of a look of usage, or the fact that the shield was used, it was damaged perhaps on some places. And when I'm applying it with a palette knife, a paint does not really mix. Or blend, it kind of sits on top of each other. And I'm thinking about that blue being little on some areas it's blue that leans more towards the green, and on some areas it's blue lean more towards a purple. And they are same value. The only difference is that in temperature, or it's not even a temperature. It's just And this is going to also give me a better understanding of where I want to have certain things and place the certain. And then you can immediately see how the shield starting to change the feel of the fabric. So I can tell immediately that I can push that fabric even more. I can have even lighter values. Unless you do this, you won't ever be able to see it, and you would struggle with kind of a dull, murky, dusty kind of a painting, and you don't want that because there is no way out of it unless you put something really bright next to it. Cool, and maybe I can bring the light area here a little bit more with the brush. And the reason why I'm choosing this and this is because, you know, this is kind of where I want you to look, and these are all the supporting characters. If I would put the light value right here, it automatically pops towards me, and the shield wouldn't look accurate. And you will see immediately how big of an impact it's going to have on the overall feel. And I'm not going to put just even though the shield is white, I'm not going to use white. Why? Because white is absence of color, and I want to have a color there. And I want that difference between warm and cool temperature. And maybe that's it. Maybe I'm not going to push it more. I'm just a little bit. So I know that I have a big shape right here, and I have it divided with this blue cross that goes around, and then another double cross that is right here. But I can keep this all in the one value, desaturated, kind of blending in, and push this corner. So automatically the only thing that your eye is going to picking up is this part. And that's exactly what I want. I don't want you to go away from the painting. I want you to keep in the middle. So if I put the most important part in like the oval shape right here, I'm golden. If I'm not able to do it, my eye is just going to go away. So imagine that it works the same way as your vision. I'm looking at something, and as I go away from the cone of the vision, the things are out of the focus. That's the same principle. I'm keeping things out of the focus on the sides. So if you're painting alongside with me, I'm pretty sure you are, because otherwise this would be really boring. Look at your painting. Look at on your, I don't know, even a sculpture if you so choose, and try to put effort into understanding what's happening on the canvas, analyzing it, and then creating a best possible solution to the task in hand. feels that I could maybe push instead of, and then it's another thing, instead of going all the way down here, maybe I can make this a little bit, this part right here a little bit more pronounced. So I would move your eye around, not with implied lines, but with contrast or saturation. What happened? I don't have a camera. What happened? What's going on? Just a second, I'm sorry. Little technical difficulties, of course, as always. Okay, let's just move it. I'm sorry about this. Well, my camera decided to just turn itself off. So, as I was saying, hopefully it's not going to turn off again. I might be, it's really hot in the studio right now. Let me open the window a little bit. Okay, I have closed windows because I'm afraid that the noise from the street outside is just going to be interfering. So I'm going to push that chainmail a little bit. And maybe I'll just use a little bit of that color that I used for the shield. Yeah, see that little sliver of light there? Suddenly, it's just immediately, it's asking your attention. So sometimes doing, what about like if I would desaturate this a little bit? This might be. Just a little bit. I wanted to put a little kind of a scratches there. Make it maybe a little darker. A little bluer. And break this long, kind of a. And I think this is a moment that is really important for trying to work from imagination. That sometimes, actually taking a break, I was just looking at that painting for so long, for 2 hours straight, and I lost sight of what needs to be done, and just, you know, refreshing, pushing the saturation a little bit more suddenly opens up. It kind of opened the painting and gave me another level, another option to how to continue even with this area. So I can push all this part and then come all the way up to a helmet, right? So that's something to really keep in mind when it comes to your own work. So I'm going to grab a little bit of, maybe this was going to be better. No, I want this. So I'm going to grab a little, where do I have let me see my, to check my, okay, so maybe I could, so I'm gonna grab the pure color or pure pigment, and by pure I mean that it's not overworked, and I'm going to scumble it on the top of this right here to see. To help that kind of a dull painting, because I felt it's a little dull. So I'm gonna really just, and this is dry brush. It's a lot of paint, and it's dry. It's no medium inside, and I'm gonna load my brush with it, and then I'm just going to really work on top of existing paint. And somewhere it really catches, somewhere it's skipped, and it creates this really beautiful textures. And I would probably think of this as a watercolors, when you have a water and they just kind of blend together as they please, rather than just as you command them. So this is like a kind of like a randomizer, so to speak. And the reason is I want to keep the attention on the focal point. Okay, and I can pump up right now that cross as well, but I want it to be barely visible. So again, it's just a little more of the why do I want it to? Because I wanted to have that feel of that it's incorporated in the painting. Or incorporated in the painting, incorporated with the fabric rather than just something that is sitting on the top. And right now I want to push that and my camera died. It has no battery, so I'll have to end the stream here. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I'll hopefully, let me see if I can, yeah, my camera is dead. So thanks for watching for today. I'll definitely gonna continue with this. I hope that you enjoyed it, and see you soon. Take care, bye.